Welcome back to DaBoot Tragedies. We're going to talk about players to watch from the upcoming Saints training camp. But before we get into that, just a couple quick things. If y'all could click all those links in the descriptions, give me a follow, join the Discord, follow the Twitch, follow the Twitter. It'll all be appreciated. I know the Discord link was broken. Someone brought that to my attention, but now it's all fixed and we should be good. But let's jump into this video. As I jump into this list, you'll definitely notice a reoccurring theme with most of these players, all of these players actually. And this number one guy, man, this is not anything shocking to anyone. The first guy we're going to talk about is Michael Thomas. Obviously, he will be a player to watch for the Saints this upcoming training camp. After missing the last 2 seasons, basically, last year he missed the entire season. He's finally back. We've seen him on Instagram, on Twitter. He's been running. He's finally started to run routes. And there's some question marks around him, Michael Thomas, believe it or not. Is he still a number one receiver? That's going to be the biggest question mark surrounding Michael Thomas. You missed a lot of time. He has to come back, and he has to prove that, unfortunately. Obviously, before he left, he was a top 5, top 3. Some people say number one receiver in the NFL the year he broke the reception record. That seems like ages ago now. Sean Payton's not here. Drew Brees not here. It's a whole new regime in building. So he's going to have to prove it with these guys, with Jameis Winston, with Pete Carmichael. He's going to have to show that he's still that number one guy. Also, another question surrounding him is, will that ankle ever be the same? Will it get close to 100% as possible? Will it get to 95%, 90%, 80%? No one really knows what that's going to be, how it's going to hold up day in and day out. Is he going to be on like a snap restriction or a snap count, I should say? No one knows what's going to happen with Michael Thomas. It's a lot of question marks surrounding him, but at least it seems like, well, not even seems like, at least we know he's getting closer and closer and closer to playing football. Now, I don't really want to predict the future here, but in 2023 and 2024, the Saints will have to make some decisions on Michael Thomas, whether he produces this year or not. Next year, he has a cap hit of $28 million. And then the year after that, in 2024, he's going to have a cap hit of $27 million. That's over $25 million a year for a receiver. And if he's not producing at a number one rate, at a high rate, then honestly, it makes no sense to pay a guy almost $30 million if he's not a guaranteed, no question, no debate, top 5 receiver in the NFL. So we could possibly be looking at Michael Thomas last season with the Saints if he doesn't produce. But like I said, I'm not here to predict that. I think he will produce. I think he'll be a top 10 receiver in the NFL this season. And then hopefully next year he can get back into that top 5 range, just because it's going to probably take some time after missing a couple years. Very confident in his ability to do that. But I do think drafting Chris Olave, moving up to go get him, was a little insurance plan just in case, we have to be looking for a number one receiver for the future. Also, he'll be starting the season on the PUP list. They'll have to activate him all, for him to start practicing. So he won't be, practicing once training camp starts and rolls around. But he's getting close. Everyone knows he's getting healthy. He's going to be there for us this season. Hopefully just stay on the right track. This receiving core is looking very, very beautiful right now. Losing him will definitely hurt. So hopefully he's ready for us week 1. He's ready to go. Him, Landry, Olave, the rest of those guys. It'll be a sight to see. Moving on from Michael Thomas, we'll jump into another top 10 player on this Saints roster, and that'll be Marcus Davenport. Every year, we always say this is the year for Marcus Davenport. Then every year he gets hurt. But now this year is very, very important, because this year is the last year of his deal, man. It's the last year of his rookie deal. We all know when he's out there, he's an absolute beast. He's an absolute stud. In my opinion, the best defensive lineman we have when he's healthy and at 100%. But that's just rarely the case. He's also starting the year on the PUP list. He had the amputated pinky or partial pinky this offseason. Now they say he's on the PUP list with an undisclosed injury. It could be that, could be a shoulder. Who knows what it is? But I think he's, finally getting healthy. He'll be ready to play. I think they're just starting him on the PUP list as precautionary. Make sure he's 100% before we put him back out there, which I agree with. But we spent 2 first-round picks on this guy. Obviously, we traded a first-round pick, and we used the first-round pick to draft him. That's 2 first-round picks. Now he's on the last year of his rookie deal, and if we don't re-sign him, if he doesn't live up to expectations, he gets hurt again, or whatever may happen, and we don't sign Marcus Davenport to an extension, that is a failed draft pick. I don't care how good he looked at spurts. I don't care how good he is. If you don't re-sign a guy that you use 2 first-round picks on, that is a failure as an organization. I don't care why it didn't work out, but that's just not a good look, and you really just can't have that happen. So we need Marcus Davenport to stay healthy, just for, football reasons as well, and we need to lock him up, to an extension, because I think he'll be a really, really good defensive lineman in this league for the next 5 to 10 years if he could just stay healthy. And obviously that's the biggest if. That's the only if surrounding him, honestly. This is going to be a very, very big season for Davenport on and off the field, man. Financially, it's going to be a big decision for his pockets. He can walk into a huge payday if he can stay healthy and have a great season. Look at Trey Hendrickson. Obviously, we don't want it to turn out that way where he has to go get another big payday from a different team. But it's possible that he can walk into a $60, $70 million deal if he performs to his talent levels. Next, we're going to go to a guy that should be his partner in crime over the next 5 years, but also he needs to stay healthy. It's only been 1 year of Payton Turner, and obviously he was not healthy his rookie season. Another first-round pick on the defensive line. He needs to be healthy. He's supposed to be the heir apparent to maybe Cam Jordan or maybe even Marcus Davenport if it doesn't work out, but we need to see more from him. One thing I am tired of doing, I'm tired of talking about that Panthers game in his NFL debut. Obviously, he came in and caused havoc. He was an absolute beast. He probably was the best player on the defense, maybe on the field, actually. I take that back. He was the best player on the field in his debut for the Saints that day. He was that good, but we can't talk about that game for the rest of his career. I know it's only year one. He has a lot of time, but I'm ready to see what he has in store for the Saints. He's finally healthy. He's cleared to play. He's ready to go. So I just can't wait. Like I said, it's another first-round pick on that defensive line. So he has to produce this year. I'm not saying he has to be a Pro Bowler or All-Pro. It's not make or break. His NFL career's on the line. But he has to produce for the Saints this year. It's a first-round pick. In year two, he's going to be a rotational guy, maybe even a starter. Who knows how the Saints are going to run the defensive line. But Davenport, Payton Turner, Cam Jordan, those three guys have to produce for us. Hey, yo, click that subscribe button, man. Turn those notifications on, and you won't miss another video from DaBoot Tragedies. Now, the last guy, and certainly not the least on this list, a guy that we need to watch, that everyone will be watching, Wil Lutz. Obviously, horrendous performance by the kickers from the Saints last year. It wasn't their fault. They all was thrown into the fire. It was guys coming in and out every week, guys trying out in and every week. We didn't really have chemistry with the long snapper, the holder, all of that. But hey, excuses are excuses. Save them for somebody else, man. You had one job to do, and they didn't do it. Wil Lutz will be back this year. He's finally cleared the kick. He's healthy. He's going to be back on his football team. This is going to be a very, very important player for us this upcoming season. It's also a big year for him, man. Wil Lutz signed a big deal for a kicker. He signed a 5-year, $20 million deal with the Saints, which he deserved every last penny, but missing the entire year as a kicker, man, you don't want to be paying a kicker $4 to $5 million a year, and he's not out there kicking for you. So I'm glad he's healthy because he does have a cap hit of $5 million over the next 2 years, which isn't anything crazy. If he's going to be out there producing for you, man. He's a career 87% field goal kicker, 97, 98% from the extra point line. That is all good numbers for him, man. We need him back out there. It's going to be a sight to see. Not seeing 6 kickers for the Saints out there. Him and Blake Gilligan's going to, put together the best special teams group in the NFL, in my opinion, at punter, kicker. And if you want to throw Deontay Hardy in there as punt returner, kick returner, you could do that as well. Going to be glad to have him back. And that's going to wrap up this list. I didn't put the rookies in there because that's just obvious, man. Everyone wants to get a first look at the rookies. That was just too obvious to put those guys in there. Let me know who you guys, excited to watch this upcoming training camp. You can say the rookies. You can say the guys, I listed already, or some guys I didn't list. Just let me know y'all thoughts on the players. You want to watch this training camp. I think it's going to be a fun one, a good one for all players. We're finally getting healthy coming into the season. And as always, this DaBoot Tragedies, and I'm out.